They say schools are supposed to be safe, but what happens when the very place you feel protected becomes a trap? What if the lockdown isn't a drill, and the thing outside the classroom isn't human? These are 5 true school lockdown horror stories, and some of them were never explained. Before we begin, subscribe, like, and share if you're brave enough, because once you hear what really happened during these Story 1. The girl under the desk. It happened in Pennsylvania. A school lockdown was announced at 1:47 p.m. No one had heard gunshots. No one had seen anything. But teachers were told, this is not a drill. In one 7th grade classroom, a student named Kayla was texting her mom under the desk, but she stopped mid. The last text read, "There's someone in the room." Police arrived. Doors were locked. Every student accounted for, except Kayla. They searched for hours. Her phone was found under the desk, screen cracked, still warm, but she was gone. No forced entry, no security footage, just the last thing she typed in her notes app. He was already here before the lockdown started. Story 2. The janitor who locked the wrong door. A night lockdown drill in a Cape Town high school turned into something else. The janitor, Mr. McConnell, was the only staff member on duty during late-night maintenance. He heard a school-wide announcement: initiate lockdown. Lock all exit doors now. He followed orders, but when he got to the west hallway, he saw a boy standing in the shadows, not moving. Thinking it was a student left behind, he yelled, "Get inside a room now." But the boy didn't flinch. Instead, he tilted his head back, opened his mouth, and a long alarm sound came out of his throat. The building lights flickered. When the real police showed up 20 minutes later, they said, there was no lockdown initiated tonight. Mr. McConnell never came back. Story 3. The security announcement that wasn't from the school. At 11:22 a.m. in a school in Birmingham, an announcement echoed through the halls. This is a lockdown. Please remain silent. He's inside. Teachers obeyed instantly, but the voice wasn't familiar. It sounded mechanical. Cold. In one classroom, a teacher noticed something worse. The announcement wasn't coming from the intercom. It was coming from inside a locked supply closet. When they opened it later, they found a small speaker, but next to it was an old school photo. Class of 1996. All names scratched out, except for one. Dylan was never supposed to be forgotten. No one knows who planted the speaker, but every year, on the same day, the intercom glitches for exactly 6 seconds. Story 4. The fire alarm that trapped them inside. In Kazan City, a school known for strict security had its first ever lockdown during a fire alarm, but this time, the fire doors wouldn't open. The sprinklers didn't activate. The smoke smelled like candle wax and burned hair. And in the hallway, students reported seeing a woman in a school uniform from the 1960s, walking calmly past the fire exit. When the fire department finally broke in from outside, there was no fire. Only thick black soot covering the main hallway and handprints on the walls leading into room 3B, which hadn't been used in 15 years. Inside that room, they found melted shoes, but nobody. Story 5. The one who disappeared from the bathroom in a school in Pune. Lockdown was announced during recess. Students were told to run back into their classes immediately, but a boy named Arav had gone to the washroom just 30 seconds earlier. He never came back. Teachers searched the stalls. His backpack was still on his desk. His water bottle was on the sink. When police reviewed CCTV, the footage cut out the moment he entered the restroom, then resumed 2 minutes later. But in those 2 minutes, the mirror had cracked, and something was written in the condensation on the glass. He's one of us now. That mirror was removed the same day, and to this day, the school refuses to acknowledge the incident ever happened. You've just heard 5 real stories from schools where lockdowns weren't caused by shooters, but by something far stranger, more disturbing, and still unexplained. If you've ever been through a lockdown, or if something felt off during one, tell your story in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because next time the alarm goes off, you better hope it's just a drill. This was Mr. EvilWakes, and school is out forever.